We just need time. Give us some time. Give us the chance to protest, to actually protest.
And I actually wasn't here that early morning, but I did wake up, and first thing I did was go on my phone to check the Instagram page to see if anything happened. Sadly, the first thing I saw on my feed was a video of someone in a cop car, and it was my cousin. Tell by her voice, calling for people to come out and support, that we need more bodies.
Hey, get your bodies out here. They're out here arresting brown women, and there's white women standing in the same spots that we were. They're upholding white supremacy.
They're arresting brown women. Look at this. Free brown women.
Before that, a couple of my cousins and my sisters and were singing our traditional songs in front of probably right where I'm standing. They were chained up. They were put in shackles and handcuffs together while a police officer was holding them like dogs. It was something I thought I would never see in my life. I thought that was something I would, you see in your history class, your U.S. history class.
This is stolen land.
I just woke up and saw this on Instagram and was like, that's terrible, and I can't believe it's happening in my backyard. Especially being here, we have UCSB, our big university out here, and we always learn about this stuff, and here, this isn't something that you'd think would happen in our community.
A lot of people from the area were posting about it online and talking about it, and so we saw that and decided to come out. This land is like sacred to the Chumash people and really doesn't need to be developed.
Amazing.
So I don't want to speak on behalf of any other folks. We just got back from the jail. We were at the jail all day, trying to get folks out, trying to talk about legal defense, trying to talk about the fucking violence that's happened in so many fucking ways right now. Like, in addition to the violence that was inflicted on all these indigenous bodies and land protectors and all these women, then the biological warfare, the threat of taking those bodies into Santa Barbara County Jail.
Stop it! Officer, you're hurting her!
You guys.
Oh. Are you serious? This is not okay. This is absolutely not okay. What is the charge? Why are you arresting her?
Are you serious?
A better job.
She did literally nothing.
She hasn't done anything.
What you saw today was an attack on the women, right? When you think of the women as the ones who are responsible for nurturing the future, right? When you think about the women and the youth, these young women of color who are the ones that are fighting for folks' right to exist in so many ways. When you think about the fact that those young women were the ones that were targeted, that their bodies, the way that these men, these aggressors, these colonizers surrounded their bodies and literally put them in chains.
Can't you just give her a little space? Like one step.
What do you feel? You feel strong? You feel strong in your position?
I like the shade.
You're shameful.
Use one of your buddies. Stand that close to your buddy over there. Just step back. Give her some fucking room. No, it's not fine.
Put the mask on right.
Like, it's just embarrassing. Like, you have a family, right? Like, just give her a little respect, please. Just take 2 steps back. Just like give her a little space. That's all we're asking. You gotta go.
They don't need handcuffs on. There's no point.
Thank you. We'll stay here. Thanks.
I was fearful because I have seen too many times the brutality of the police, especially against Black and brown communities and indigenous communities, and I know that those communities are much more at risk for colonial violence than anybody else. And so I was definitely afraid, but we were strong in our conviction and we knew that what we were doing was right. And so when it became clear that the police were not going to allow us to stop what was happening with this soft blockade that we had.
When they finally had all the officers here and they were like, we're gonna start arresting you, we're like, can we get 10 minutes? Just like talk amongst ourselves, like, you guys got 10 minutes, you're good. And they like all walked away. And at that point, someone locked down to the gate.
Luckily, someone had thought ahead. That what we actually ended up doing was we used what's called a lockdown device.
Grabbed out their tools and wrapped around it and like locked their arms in this device. And the cops were like, wait, what? Oh, man, shit,
I decided that I was going to lock myself to the gate so they couldn't open the gate and pull their bulldozers in. I was locked to that pole over there around the gate so it couldn't be opened.
We're out here defending this beautiful land that you see behind this big tent. Everything that's as far as the eye can see beyond those hills, these grasslands in between, all beyond these folks that are here today. This is a really sacred and special place to the Chumash people. This is one of the last places that they have to be gathering their medicine, and a lot of endangered species are also living along these foothills. As we know, a lot of Santa Barbara, which is also what this land is known as to many of you, it's the colonizer name for that. Much of Santa Barbara doesn't have many spaces like this anymore. This is a hiking trail, this is a walking trail. Folks come here to gather medicine, especially in this time of a pandemic. What's happening here is developers are looking to degrade this road essentially, but what they want to do is start destroying it so that there's nothing left for us to fight for. So we're not letting that happen. Many folks who are local to here know the history of what has tried to be developed on this very land before.
This is a battle that's been going on for over 2 decades. When we were at the Santa Barbara County Jail with the mamas, with the elders today, they were giving us a really rich history of this movement of resistance that has always been led by the people, by the Chumash people, by the stewards, the original inhabitants of this land.
As of right now, we're standing in defense because just as of yesterday, folks for the first time saw a bulldozer pulled up.
There was a lot more praying. A lot of Native youth were up here, femme body, Native Chumash folks, and they were praying and singing with their traditional clapper sticks. And they started grabbing a couple of the people, arrested 2 people, and it mellowed out for 20 minutes or so, and then they arrested 2 more, so it was 4 people here in front of the gate they arrested.
Why does a sheriff have to be law enforcement? Why can't we have an anti-oppressive, anti-racist social worker for sheriff? Why can't we have an organizer for sheriff? Why can't we have the people that we know that love our communities, that don't criminalize them, that don't treat them like they're violent imposters? Why can't we have somebody like that for sheriff?
It's really important for us as people who care, and especially the youth who are going to inherit this world, to stand up and say no, we're not going to let this happen, because we don't have a lot of these spaces left. And if we want to leave a healthy environment and a stable climate for future generations, we're going to have to stop the destruction in its track, literally stop the bulldozers from doing what they were made to do, which is tear up land.
So the issue here has been one that's been going on for decades, since colonization, right? Since chattel slavery. We think about the 2 original sins of the United States, and that is chattel slavery, and that is colonization and the violent genocide of Native people and the stealing of their land. So when we imagine what the future could look like, those 2 things need to include land matriation and reparations, right? So what's happening here is the continued stripping of land, of vital resources of our Mother Earth for a billionaire playland, a billionaire playground, right? When they could live anywhere they want.
It's so detrimental to see this ongoing construction and ongoing development of the land where it really doesn't need to be, and just kind of in terms of climate change, it's only serving to exacerbate these effects. We're driving species extinction, we're driving temperatures up when we destroy land, and I think it doesn't serve to help anyone. And especially in this case, we're seeing just a few luxury homes being built, and I know even in my hometown when there's gentrification, it's only for the wealthy, and I think it doesn't serve to address any environmental concerns or even social concerns.
And that's the sad part about this, is that we already have, Santa Barbara has literally thousands of empty houses and hundreds of empty mansions already. And these 8 luxury homes they want to build are more than likely just going to be people that will be here seasonally, if at all.
I hope that this will increase people's awareness of and respect for indigenous lands and the indigenous people in our communities, because the way we learn about indigenous people in America is definitely not reflective of the truth. And so I feel like the more that we can get out here and do things like this and then watch interviews like the other people who have been interviewed today, the more we can learn about the truth and about like what's actually happening and the real histories. And I think that is so important for going forward.
Well, I guess the big thing people are doing is just trying to raise money. I mean, that's the main thing people are doing for this spot, is outreach and raising money and getting people aware. Probably over 10 million. I'm going to say 15 million at least, but I'm not sure. But that's not impossible. I mean, they did the Douglas Preserve, they did Elwood.
You know, as some of the elders were saying today, like the youth have a different politic. The youth have a different way of activating and organizing. So we need to respect that and respect them and support them.